She lived, she served, and she reigned, remembering the remarkable life of Queen Elizabeth II.
You know, all eyes are focused on Scotland, and the world mourns the monarch, and the royal family says goodbye to their beloved queen.
I often draw strength from meeting ordinary people doing extraordinary things.
Buckingham Palace announced the death of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II.
Shortly before the announcement at 10:30 a.m. Pacific time,
The Queen died peacefully at Balmoral this afternoon.
a rainbow appeared opposite Buckingham Palace as the news rippled across the globe, where crowds gathered and the royals rushed to the Queen's bedside at Balmoral Castle. That's Prince William, flown in from London. Prince William stepping off a plane in Scotland at 3:50 p.m. local time, and then drove Prince Edward, his wife Sophie, and Prince Andrew to the castle.
And then at 5:05, a flurry of flashbulbs as senior members of the royal family swept past us. I could see grim faces.
Prince Harry
Was spotted looking somber in all black, driven to Balmoral. A source tells ET Harry went solo. Charles and Camilla, Princess Anne, were already on the ground there.
Prince Harry to be there, even though he was unable to get to Balmoral. The family wanted in time to see his grandmother.
Harry and Meghan were supposed to attend a charity event in London late today.
Meghan was not invited to join the family. So I think that is deeply significant that by the Queen's bedside.
Kate Middleton stayed behind in Windsor and was seen picking up George, Charlotte, and Louis from school. Upon hearing the news, networks scrambled. Charles, who was named King Charles III, calling the Queen's death, quote, a moment of the greatest sadness for me and all members of my family. The brand new Prime Minister, Liz Truss.
A huge shock to the nation and to the world.
This is the last photo of the 96-year-old. She hadn't been seen in public for 47 days. Meeting Truss on Tuesday, she was smiling and alert, but using a cane. You can see some bruising on her hands. BBC programming around 6 a.m. Pacific time completely switched to report on the Queen. Journalists changed into all-black clothing, which is part of a series of protocols in the event of Her Majesty's passing.
Parliament is to be suspended immediately to prepare for the Queen's state funeral. Her Majesty's body will be transported to Edinburgh to lie in state at the Palace of Holyrood House. The monarch's coffin will then be carried to St Giles's Cathedral so the public can pay their respects before making her final journey to Windsor, where she will be interred with her late husband, Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh. Her Majesty's body will then be transported to London, where she will lie in state at Westminster Abbey.
As the world mourns, many today are asking about the line of succession and a change in royal titles.
Your Majesty, Mummy.
It is more likely than not that Catherine, in turn, the Princess of Wales, and Prince William, the Duke of Cambridge, will become the Prince of Wales, and she more than anyone will know that they are sizable shoes to fill. We haven't had a Princess of Wales since Diana. We will be expecting to hear from the new king, who will address the nation tomorrow.
You have this huge amount of respect for your boss, and I always view her as my boss. I still view her more as the Queen than my grandmother.
A positive COVID test in late February sparked a week of worldwide concern. For a time, the Queen seemed unstoppable, but Her Majesty returned to royal duties, looking healthy during virtual appearances. At this reception at Sandringham Estate, in good spirit, the Queen
Somebody else can finish it off.
stunned guests who were expecting to watch her cut the cake. It was a bright, fun moment after a difficult year, after she lost her beloved husband, Prince Philip, in April of 2021. Royal life slowed down for the Queen. The two had been married for 73 years.
For me, in the months since the death of my beloved Philip, from the warmth and affection of the many tributes to his life and work, I have drawn great comfort.
Viewed by many as old-fashioned and serious, she was actually quite playful.
Mr. Prime Minister of Canada, thank you. Don't for making me feel so old. Oh, really? Please.
Boo.
Good evening, Mr. Bond.
Good evening.
Elizabeth was known for her love of her corgis. In the 50s, she favored dresses cinched at the waist. In later years, almost all of her outfits were custom-made just for her. She went for coats and hats, always in bright colors, so she could stand out in a crowd.
There are some disadvantages to crowns. Once you put it on, it stays. And you can't look down to read the speech, because if you did, your neck would break, or it'd fall off. You have to take the speech up.
She had a long connection with Hollywood, giving some of the biggest stars titles, from Sir Elton John, Dame Elizabeth Taylor, to Sir Paul McCartney. And we love that she didn't seem fazed at all when she met Lady Gaga, who happened to be wearing a red rubber dress. She made Angelina Jolie an honorary Dame of the British Empire for her work on behalf of refugees.
I was knighted by the Queen, and she was lovely. It's a sad day, but I feel good about Charles and welcoming him to the throne.
The Queen will always be remembered as a woman who made and lived through history.
But even in the unlikeliest of places, hope can still be found.